Alright guys, Tommy here with my grand review challenge about Blizzard's new Hearthstone expansion, the Grand Tournament. So I thought I had to do something about the Grand Tournament because the expansion is super exciting and of course everybody wants to know everything about it. So I thought just do another review like all the big guys are already doing this. Like Trump is doing it all the time. Colento, Amas, Kripparrian, Reynard, Strifecrow. They're all doing reviews. And I thought, okay, what can I do better? What can I do different? I will challenge you all to find out who is the best reviewer for this Hearthstone expansion. So don't angry chicken out. And let me explain you what that means. So, the challenge. I challenge all the big guys out there. I challenge Trump, I challenge Reynard, I challenge Kripparrian, and all the guys I forgot. I challenge you to participate in this grand review challenge and to find out who is the best reviewer and who makes the best predictions. I also challenge all the viewers to participate in this grand review challenge and to make this challenge as big as possible, because deep down I'm a scientist and I want to make a small experiment here to figure out who is better. Are the experts the better reviewer, or is maybe the crowd average together the better reviewer? This is known as crowdsourcing in science. Colleagues of me could show that the crowd could segment medical instruments in laparoscopic images just as good as the experts, as the medical experts, which I find really interesting. So, the rules. I want to keep the rules as simple as possible to allow as many people as possible to participate and to make it really understandable. So everybody votes for every card. And the whole decision you have to make, is it competitive or is it not good enough? That's everything. That's all the decision you have to make, but for every card. The deadline is the official release of the Grand Tournament. And 6 weeks after this release, I will make an evaluation and I will also provide you with weekly updates about the rankings. So the question is, when is a card competitive? To answer this, I will look at the weekly meta snapshots of TempoStorm and at the power rankings of Liquid Earth. Their experts are looking together at the current meta and present competitive decks. If both sides list a card in their decks, then that card is considered to be competitive. I have no influence whatsoever on these sites. I'm not involved, so the sites are kind of my independent measure whether a card is competitive or not. So let's have a look how this would work out for Blackrock Mountain. I checked the meta lists for 4 weeks after the last Blackrock Mountain wing was released, and I also checked today's list. Here are 3 cards just as examples. For instance, the Grim Patron Warrior was listed right at the beginning, but of course I have to mention that the Grim Patron was released in an earlier wing. So at that point, at the first week after the complete Blackrock Mountain cards were released, the Grim Patron was already very famous. Another interesting card is the Blackwing Technician. It was listed for a very long time in some dragon decks, but then disappeared. And interestingly, the Dragon Concert is still listed today on TempoStorm's meta snapshot in a Dragon Paladin list. Okay, let's compare this with Liquid Earth. On Liquid Earth, the Grim Patron is also, of course, listed all the time. And there, the Blackwing Technician is also listed all the time, and it's still listed today there, I think in Malagos lock, but it doesn't really matter which deck it is. And the Dragon Concert, which some people might consider to be not a competitive card, is not listed by Liquid Earth. So if we combine these 2 lists, we get this. And now let's have a look at the point system. if you say that the card is competitive, you get 1 point per week where the card is listed on both sides. So for a competitive card which you predicted correctly, you get up to 6 points. If you say a card is not good enough, you get 2 points if the card never appears on both sides in 1 week. And of course, if you do a wrong prediction, then you get 0 points. So let's see how many points you would get in these examples. So the Grim Patron would of course be a very good prediction and would give you 5 points in my example here. The Blackwing Technician would give you 4 points, and the Dragon Consort would give you just 1 point. Okay, let's have a look at the form. I made this form with Google Forms. The first site will ask you to enter your email address and your nickname. Please note that this information is not required whatsoever. It is just that I have some contact information in case you win a prize. And of course I would like to list some nicknames in the weekly ratings, and therefore I need some name. But if you don't want to enter this stuff, you don't have to, then you can still participate anonymously for the crowd. And if you're one of the big guys, if you're one of the really famous streamers, please write me a Twitch mail under which nickname you participated in order to prove that it is really you. What is required, however, is the prediction of the cards. It looks like this. You get to see the card again, you can read it again, and then underneath you do your prediction if the card is competitive or if it is not good enough. The winner gets, of course, all the fame and all the glory. You get to be the best reviewer of the Grand Tournament expansion. But to make it a little bit more interesting for new players, I will also sponsor 40 packs of your choice. Okay, time is running out. I would like to mention that this is a spontaneous one-man project. So it's supposed to be fun. Just join and participate, and don't be too lazy to vote. And please don't complain too much about the rules. It might be a little bit flawed, but this is it for this expansion. Rather help me to improve the system for another upcoming expansion. So thanks for watching. Please leave questions and critics in the comments as always, and please go out there, go to your favorite streamer, tell him or her that he or she has been challenged by Tommy to participate in this grand review challenge. Thanks for watching, and in my next video I will show you my personal thoughts on some cards of the Grand Tournament expansion.